Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make these kind of frames with the help of cardboard and the two-way sticker, or here I've used the masking tapes. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. For which we would need these kind of paper cutters, a cutting board, and these kind of cardboards which should not be too thick, neither too thin, and it should have a flat surface. And we would need these kind of motivational quotes. You can take printout of these colorful things, and pencil, scale, of course the paper cutter you would need, scissors you would need, and I have these tapes, the tape and the Fevicol. So the first thing that you have to do here in this case is you got to take one of these, I have many here. Take one of these and you got to cut all the sides which are not needed. Here is one sheet which has all the sides equally cut, but this is the one which needs to be cut on either sides, on the left and right. If you can see, it is extra, so I'm using the pencil and scale here to make a cutting, right? So the extra thing has to be cut. So after cutting, you'll have something like this, and then you have to use a cardboard here, and the center of the cardboard should be flat and it should not have any holes, and don't use those holes for your project. Here you can make only one out of these because on either side there are holes. Now what I'm going to do here is, first I have to place this particular sheet in the center of whichever place appropriate for you to do the cutting, and you have to leave at least half an inch on either sides of this particular the printout, the sheets that I have here, the paper cuttings. So I'm doing a rough marking here of this particular. There are two ways of doing it. One is this way. You have to mark the sheet on the cardboard. If you can see closely here, I have marked it here with the help of the pencil, and you have to cut it a little more than what you have marked. That is at least half an inch more than what you have marked of your printout sheet. You have to cut the whole center part of it. Now I'll show you how actually I did it. The other way to do it is, you can take, if you can see here in this picture, before I cut, I'm just showing you how I did it. So I have marked all the four sides, and I'm going to cut this with the help of the paper cutter. I wouldn't advise you to use scissors in this case because your board might get damaged, the cardboard board might get damaged. So you can use a pencil cutter. Pencil cutters are easily available in the market, or you can buy it through any of the online sites as well. And also ensure that you use a board, a flat a paper cutting board in the bottom, so that you don't by mistake cut any other extra things here. So we are going to cut on all the four sides of this particular thing. It is a little hard to cut this because it's a cardboard, and that's why I told you should never use a thick cardboard because it becomes very hard and the cutting will not come properly. You will not get equal or even surface or a straight line when you cut with a harder cardboard, because it becomes a little difficult to cut with the help of the paper cutter, because it's not going to be that sharp. It's a paper cutter and not a cardboard cutter, so its job is to cut a piece of paper. Paper cutting is very easy with this, but to cut the cardboard, if it's very thick, it's going to be very hard. So you have to make use of the kind of cardboard that I'm making use of here, which is not that thick, which is a little thin, so that you get a little even straight line, like this. See if you can see this. All the four sides are very good and even. Can you see that? And see, I've left half inch extra. It's a little more than the printout that I've taken. So the cardboard is a little more than what the printout is. Now I'm going to use the Fevicol to stick this. I prefer you use a Fevicol itself and not the glue gun here, because the glue gun is not necessary in this case. And if you have any, I had this big Fevicol dabba with me, so I'm using this. But if you have a squeezer, it would be very easy for you to do this. And you should not have any excess of Fevicol on this cardboard, because your the paper that you go to stick on the surface of this might just get smudged, or it might get wrinkles on it. So to avoid that, you have to evenly flatten the Fevicol that you apply on the cardboard. And I'm using this black tape to make it look like a frame. And this particular project is something that I did during the lockdown, so I couldn't find a proper black tape, and this is a electrical tape. And if you can see, it's not that broad, but you get a broader tape and of different colors. You can use any color that you want to, but I prefer black, going with the theme and of which whatever I'm thinking of. Black would suit better, I feel. So this is how you're going to stick this, and don't pull this. If this is the kind of tape that you have, this is very elastic in nature, so if you pull this too hard, your frame may not really look like a frame. So you shouldn't really pull these kind of electrical tapes, considering its elastic nature. But you get the other kind of tapes, the regular tapes, which would not be of elastic type. You can use those kind of tapes, which again are easily available in Amazon and Flipkart and other places, so you can buy them. I'll see if I can find the link of any of these kind of tapes that I'm referring to. I'll definitely provide a link in the description box. But these are the best way to do a frame without really really investing a lot. And you have to do this very carefully, the way I'm doing here. A little bit of white paper should be visible to make it look very real, like a frame. And also the tape has to be, because I'm using, as I told you, an electrical tape, it shouldn't be stretched. So I'm doing it very carefully here. Even otherwise, if you have a regular tape, any other kind of tape, any color tape, do it very carefully. And after you finish off with one side, you will have to cut them, and you have to stick this particular thing on the back side of this cardboard as well, like this, how I'm doing it here. Can you see this? And see, it looks so even. Yeah, it looks so even because your cutting of your cardboard has been good. So the cardboard cutting is very important. So you should never make a hurry in both these process. One is cutting the cardboard and one is sticking this, and you have to do it on all the four sides. And yes, this is how it looks. Can you see this? It looks so beautiful, and who would really tell you this is a frame that you've made at home? You can see the sides, corners, they look so sharp and even. Can you see that? And it's come really good, and you can use this in the kids room for them to feel motivated. You can use in the foyer area, you can use in the dining area. It completely depends on what kind of frames you want to have in the room, or whichever space that you're looking for. So all these are the frames that I've done. Not decided where actually I want to install them, but yeah, there are so many. I think if you can see some of these, most of them have come out really good. All of them actually. The edges have come out good, and this is a little different in shape that I plan to color and use it in my daughter's room. So yeah, see, this is one more where it's a spiritual kind of a frame that I've made again. I'm not sure where exactly will I have this, but yeah, these are some of the beautiful frames that I've made. And if you've liked them, do consider subscribing to my channel. Hit a like button and share this video to as many people